Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette. This is the look I did create with the palette today, and I have to say right off the bat, I am not a fan of this palette. If we're just, I'm being flat out honest with y'all, like I have been with all of my Jaclyn Hill videos about these, but this is my least favorite, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, I don't recommend it, but I want to show y'all why. That is why I basically continue on through the tutorial. I did one eye off camera just to kind of get my bearings on what I thought about and everything, and that is really when I formed an opinion, because it's hard. You'll see in the tutorial portion, but this green shade right here called Top Secret, you know, it ain't nothing special, let me just tell you. So I do have swatches and everything like I did with all my other videos that we will get into. So if you want to see a tutorial using this bad boy and some swatches and my thoughts, then please keep on watching. So like I did say, I had some trouble and some struggles with this guy. We're gonna go ahead and get into the swatches now because I feel like I'm able to explain myself when I have like visual showing y'all. So the first shade that I'm going to swatch is VIP, and that is actually what I have on my inner corner right now. And this is probably one of my favorite shades in the palette, and the only shades I really love in this palette are the shimmers, and there's only 4 of them, and the shimmers in here are the bomb. Like they're really good, but the mattes, the palette's not worth it just for the shimmers in my opinion, because the mattes are so bad. So yeah, that's my little take on here. But VIP is beautiful. I love it for the inner corner. This is a really pretty white icy shade. So VIP is a shade Access. It's kind of like a yellowy orange, and we have this kind of up here closer to the brow bone, and this matte is okay. I have to say this is one of the better mattes though. I feel like Access is very light, very blendable, and I really like how it kind of gave some brightness to the look. Next to it is Guilt Trip. It's a shimmer. I love the shimmers in this palette. They're very smooth, very creamy, and they just give off such nice reflection. It's not a pressed pigment or anything. They're just a really beautiful shimmer. And then the same next to that is Coin, another like kind of true gold shimmer. It's a really beautiful kind of deep golden shade, and I feel like it almost has a little bit of a brown in there, but it's really unique, I think, and I really like the Coin shade also. Next to it is Agent, and again, I'm just not impressed really, I guess. It's just not something that I really thought was gonna come out of this palette. When I looked at it, I'm like, oh yes, like this is beautiful. It has fall written all over it, and you know, when I get to these mattes right here, I'm just really not impressed. And the same goes for Top Secret. Like I did say, this is what I have all over my lid today, and it didn't impress me, and it really sucks to say that, but it just really didn't. And the swatch doesn't really do any help at all, sadly. The next one I have is Smooth Criminal. I actually have that in my crease today, and that one is okay. It's just, again, with the swatch, it's really not that good, and Top Secret was really hard to blend out, and I feel like Smooth Criminal was really hard to also blend out Top Secret. Like, it didn't really help each other. There wasn't a little there wasn't basically help between the 2 shades here to blend each other out. So I am not a fan of those. Secure was the orange shade that we also did use. That one was okay. I feel like I have the same thought about that one as I do Agent. Like, they're okay, but I feel like I did say, my favorite matte in here is the Access shade. That is more of that brighter orange. And then we get to Prowl. I didn't use Prowl, but as you can tell by the swatch, it kind of just adds up to the rest of the mattes in here. Again, not really anything great, not really anything worth talking about, kind of just patchy, dry, not very much pigmentation. And then we get to probably my favorite shimmer in here. This is Classified. I have this on my lower lash line right here on the inner half. Like I said, I am living for the shimmers in this palette. I think the shimmers in here are beautiful, and this Classified shade is my favorite one along with VIP. Those 2 are really pretty, so I definitely want to use this in a tutorial, but I just don't know about any of these mattes. Like, they're just not they're just really not that good to me. But I love the shade Classified. So basically, with all of that being said, I will show you in this tutorial how everything blends out, how the green shade performs, because I go step by step. I will basically not cut out much of the blending unless it takes forever. I will normally fast forward, that way you can kind of see how it's not blending, why it's not blending, and what it looks like, because like I said, when I used the green shade, it basically blended away very quickly to nothing, and it was very patchy going on. So I will will show that throughout the whole tutorial. And I think that is pretty much it. I wanted to keep it a little bit less wabam with like lashes. So I went with some simple lashes and just a nice nude lip. So that is going to be the little roundabout of this palette. So yeah, I guess let's just go ahead and jump into the tutorial. Okay, so I already have one eye done. That way it just speeds the process up a little bit further, and that way I could kind of get a feel for the palette to begin with. And I'm sorry if the lighting fluctuates a little bit. There's like a lot of clouds moving outside, and it like kind of fluctuates, and then it goes bright, and then it'll go a little bit more blue. So I'll try to do my best to fix that. But like I did say, I already did one eye, so I am gonna do this eye now. This eye did give me trouble because I used the matte green shade in here called Top Secret all over my lid basically, and then took a mix of Smooth Criminal, Access, and Secure, which is like these three shades right here, and put them in my crease. And that green shade, I don't really like it. It is first and foremost very hard to blend, and also it blends away into basically nothing once you start blending shadows into your crease. And I really don't like it. I feel like it kind of just looks a little bit splotchy. So it's not my favorite, but we will make it work. I wanted to keep obviously the color on there, that way I could show you guys. So the first brush I went in for the green was like a more flat, fluffy styled brush. And then I took one of my Wet n Wild brushes, which is flat also, but as you can tell, there's a little less hairs, and the Wet n Wild one seems to pick it up better than the more fluffy one. So that is actually what I'm going to do. I already have my brows done. We are primed and everything, so ready to go. Taking the shade right here called Top Secret, I'm basically going to just apply this over my whole entire lid. And I'm gonna have to reapply this quite a bit because it just doesn't give off like a really, really pretty forest green. To me, like, I don't know, it just seems very patchy and just not, like, I don't know, like, it just doesn't look that good to me. Like, it just looks so patchy. I don't know what the deal is. And it's so hard to blend out. I was hoping that would not be the case for this palette because I really like the layout of this palette, but this green shade is just no bueno. So I'm gonna stop right there with that because it blends away so easily, so I'm gonna have to reapply it quite a bit. Taking this shade right here called Smooth Criminal, and I'm taking a little bit of Smooth Criminal on this BH brush. This is the number 5 brush, and I'm going in kind of upwards, and I'm gonna start blending out this green shade. If I tilt my wrist more up, it doesn't blend out the green shade as bad, but it still does. Oh, can't you just see it's kind of like fading right here? Like, it's just not pretty at all. I mean, it kind of sucks because this palette is really, like, I love the colors of this palette, but I don't know, I feel like it just looks weird. Man, I haven't worn makeup in so long, and like, of course I get home from school and I'm like, oh my god, I just want to like put makeup on and film, and then of course this is what happens to me because I want to finish up doing these JACLYN videos because I only have one left, and it's the purple one, and that one I'm really excited to use, so hopefully that formula is a little better. Next, taking a little bit of this shade right here called Secure, and I'm taking this on a Moda Pro crease brush. I really like these brushes. This one's one of my favorites right now. And I am going to basically blend that exactly where we put that dark shade. Just so it adds a little bit more orange, and then we're gonna go with actually more orange also. Then taking this shade right here called Access. This is a really bright kind of yellowish orange I was talking about, so we're gonna go in with this right here, like above the crease. Just to really brighten it up. That's what I did over here. I really like this eye, like the outer corner over here, but I just can't with the green, man. I really can't. And I think if I wouldn't have incorporated the green, I would have put one of the shimmers on, because as you can tell in the swatches in the beginning of the video, the shimmers in here are bomb. Like, they're really pretty. And this classified shade over here, like, I'm putting that on the lower lash line today. But the mattes in here just suck. Like, I'm sorry, but they suck. And this may be the worst palette out of all 4 of them, if we're being honest. because the mattes in here are terrible, especially compared to the other ones. They're just not good. And that really does suck, but you know, it's okay, it's okay. Everybody has a different experience with these. But I am gonna go back in again with the green shade called Top Secret. And we're basically going to build this back up again. I really regret putting this on my lid, but it's fine, it's fine. And then I'm gonna go in with the Motor brush that we used and ever so slightly just blend out the crease. Just enough to where we get that line like kind of gone, because I feel like this green shade is really hard to blend out without taking away all the product. And I'm gonna go with just a little bit more of the green shade and just re-intensify the bottom half. I think that's gonna be it, because if I keep adding more and more and more, it's gonna start getting muddy, because I don't like how these colors look when they got muddy. I already feel like it looks a little bit muddy over here. So I'm gonna stop right there with this. I mean, I'm just not a fan of this green shade, y'all. Like, it's just not what I was hoping for. I'm just going to take my Pretty Vulgar black liner and then this Smith 205 liner brush. I'm not gonna do a wing. I'm just going to do a black line. That way I can apply the lashes. And the lashes I'm gonna use are the Ardell 120 Demis. I wanted to use something a little less like waboom, because I feel like all my tutorials I've been using a lot of big lashes, so I wanted to use some small lashes today. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm actually going to do my face makeup, and then I will come back so we can do the lower lash line. Okay, so now that our face makeup is done, we're gonna move on to the lower lash line. So I know for the very like front right here of the lower lash line, I want to take one of her shimmer shades in here, and I think I want to go in with the shade Classified down here. So I'm gonna go in with it dry first on a MAC 242. I think I'm gonna want to spray my brush though. I don't know how to, I'm trying to do this in the frame of the camera. Yeah, I am gonna spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus. Yeah, going in with that shade Wet definitely made a big difference. And I'm just gonna do the exact same thing on this eye. And then for the rest of the lower lash line right here on the outside, I wanna take a mix of Smooth Criminal and probably the Access shade, which is these two right here. And I'm just gonna buff these together until they meet the shimmer shade. And then to highlight our inner corner and brow, well, I guess I should probably put on lower mascara first. I just thought about that. I'm gonna put on some of my favorite lower lash mascara, which is the Pixie one. Okay, now that that's done to highlight our inner corner, we're gonna take the pretty much only shade to do that, which is this white one called VIP. Oh, wow. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, I think I found one shade I like in this palette. That is like, wow, okay. That's beautiful. It's very intense, very white and icy. So this is my basic tutorial over the JACLYN Morphe Armed and Gorgeous palette. As y'all can tell just from me applying the shadows and swatching them for y'all, they're really not anything great. I really don't think this palette is to die for. You need it, like I really don't. And I love my other two palettes that I have tried. They have some inconsistencies as well, but this one sucks. Like I think literally the only shades I like are the shimmer shades, and there's only 4 of them. And that's definitely not worth buying the palette for the shimmer shades, because you can find these shimmer shades or close shimmer shades like this in lots of other palettes. So definitely don't go out and buy this one. I don't recommend this one. The green shade is really not worth it, and shimmers are beautiful like I said, but altogether I really don't think this palette is worth it. And that is the first palette that I have said that on, so that's kind of shocking. But I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial and this little swatch video. The last one I have to do is the Bling Boss, which is like the purpley one, I think that's what it's called. So that'll be my next and final like JACLYN Morphe series. I wanted like to sporadically upload these, that way they weren't just like super close to each other. So I like having, you know, other videos in between because not everybody wants to hear about these, which is understandable, but I wanted to give my opinion out there. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's tutorial. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you guys later. Bye y'all.